everybody, it's me Lappy, and welcome back to my channel for another part of building Newcrest. Today I built a library and observatory, so basically a library with a lot of space-themed objects, and with a big observatory with the top that's made out of windows that looks out over Newcrest, my beautifully built neighborhood that isn't even completely built yet. But I'm okay with the way that this library turned out. I think the interior is its strong point, but like that's no surprise to anybody. I'm better with like furnishing and interior design on these builds than I am with actually like building the exterior of the houses and stuff. I think my favorite part of this is the kids area, but I am getting ahead of myself. I would like to tell you guys some stories today. This one is kind of a complaint story, or no, I'll tell you guys about the movie that I watched recently, and then if I still have time left to go, I will start complaining. So, okay. The night before I am recording this, so on December 6th, I sat down with two of my friends, and we watched Rhapsody Street Kids Believe in Santa. If you have never heard of that movie, I don't know how, because it's one of the, like, notoriously bad movies. It's kind of popular and all that. It's a thing. And, I mean, it was bad. Don't get me wrong. It was terrible. We watched that thing beginning to end, and I feel the need to sue because it was low-key traumatizing. The animation was so bad. It was a bad movie. It was just awful. It looked like it had, like, 75-cent budget, which is kind of wild, because you know who the voice actors in there were? They were Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson in The Simpsons. There was Paige O'Hara, the voice of Princess Belle in the original Beauty and the Beast. And there was Princess Ariel from Little Mermaid, Jodie Benson. Let me look up the rest of the voice cast, because it's... Oh, Grey Delisle was in it. That's the voice of, like, Princess Azula and a crap ton of other popular characters from the 90s and 2000s. And, Mark Hamill was in it. That's Luke Skywalker and the best Joker. It was just generally a crazy time. Like, the plot was nonsensical, but the voice acting was pretty good because it was an all-star cast that I have no idea how they managed to get into there. It was a bad movie, okay? I don't suggest watching it unless you're gonna watch it with friends and laugh at it, in which case, yeah, by all means, go check it out. But, Jesus, it was not good, okay? And there's still so much time left in the video. And I don't feel like giving, like, a recap of the plot or anything, but I will tell you that we had to watch a couple Laika movies. We watched Kubo and the Two Strings, and, and Paranorman to, like, make ourselves feel better afterwards, because it was that bad. We needed to give ourselves faith in humanity therapy, because it was just, my god. Who made that? I think I saw a Twitter thread, actually, last year about it, made by a girl who's, like, the daughter of somebody that worked on it. I should find it, actually. Hang on. Let me open Google. Rhapsody Street Kids, Twitter thread. Okay, yeah, because I swear there was, like, more to it. Hang on. No. Come on, give it to me. Okay, yeah, I can't find it, but, like, there was a thread by somebody who's, like, the daughter of somebody that worked on the movie, and they talked about how, like, it was supposed to be, like, a legit series, but, somebody, like, scammed them out of it. Like, they sent it to an animation company they thought was legit, but it was terrible and did not work out, so that was the reason behind all that. Okay, we still have lots of time left in the voiceover, though, so I need to find some other things to talk about. This wallpaper, for example, is my favorite in the game now. It is so pretty. I adore it. It is just so nice. Like, I never liked it before, but I like it now. Not this wallpaper in this room, the vampire one, but the wallpaper outside that came with the vintage glamour. Like, it's so pretty. I love it. And I also really like the motivational posters that came with cats and dogs. Like, but that's a no-brainer because I like animals and I like motivational posters, so. Okay. And what else can I talk about? Okay, I will do the complaining. So I have this friend. I don't think she watches my videos, but oh, I shouldn't talk about her like this, but she doesn't even watch my videos, so it's fine, I guess. But, no, I'm not gonna talk about her. I'm not gonna complain. I'm just gonna live with it. She apologized, so it's fine. It's fine. She just kind of brushed me off. It's okay, though. It's okay now. I love her. She's my good friend. And all that fun jazz stuff. But, okay, so I'm just going ahead and putting down walls and stuff at this point, putting down the bookshelves, making sure the whole place is all set up. I do really like the way that this library turned out, in a kind of way. Like, it's not as good as the park that I built for the same series that showed up last week, but I do like the way that this build turned out. It could have been worse. I am super inexperienced in building community lots. Like, I build a lot of restaurants and stuff, and I like building vet clinics, but other than that, I very rarely build community lots, and I kind of jumped out of my shell for this series and built some, and I mean, considering they're some of my first that I've ever built, it could be a lot worse, you know? It could be worse. I could not get that rug to work out for the life of me, but, you know, it's whatever. I was only a little bit traumatized by it. And at this point, I remember that it was a library and observatory, and, like, tried to find some space-themed posters to put up. But, you know, it turned out good. I should tell, like, a library-related story. Okay, so, let me think. Oh, one time, when I was in, like, 3rd grade or something, I went to, the school library for a little while, and we were working on... I got in trouble beforehand. I got in, some pretty bad trouble, actually. I don't even remember what I did, because it was, 10 years ago now? But my teacher got upset with me over something. I didn't think it was a big deal, and honestly, considering I can't remember it anymore, and I was the only one out of my group of friends that got in any kind of trouble over it, it probably wasn't that big a deal, and it probably wasn't really my fault. I was a bit of a troublemaker in elementary school because I hung out with the wrong crowd of kids, and I am really glad that I stopped hanging out with them in middle school because I hated this other kid that hung out. But I stopped hanging out with them, and that was probably the best decision I ever made, because a vast majority of those kids dropped out of high school. Like, the guy that I considered my best friend, he finished high school out pretty fine, but a majority of his friends did not, and that is kind of why I am glad that I ended up dropping that group of friends. They actually one of the kids in that group was actually kind of a bit of a bully to me. Not to point any fingers or anything, but his name was Matthew. I will not even try to disguise his name. It was Matthew. He was a shitty person. He was terrible to me when I was a kid, and I was a sweet child. I did not deserve that. I mean, I made some questionable decisions, and I broke some rules, but I was a sweet kid. I was nice to people. I tried really hard to be sweet. And this guy just treated me terribly. He was a bully. He called me names. He threatened me. He said that he was a better friend to this kid that I'd been hanging out with since the 3rd grade. And he told me that he was a better friend. He was going to get them all to ditch me and all that. And, you know, it was just not a good time. Oh my gosh. The video cut out for a second. That was probably just me. But I was miserable around that time in my life. This kid made me feel terrible about myself, and I am very glad that I ditched that friend group. And then I ended up switching schools a couple years later, but you know, it's whatever. So that was the story of the guy that was awful to me in elementary school, and the subsequent me leaving my first friends that I made after moving up to where I am now. But you know, it's okay. I'm over it now, honestly. I'm not upset with this kid anymore. I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything. It was just a rough patch in my life. Oh, yeah, I was trying to tell you guys about the story, about the library. That's right, I got off track. But, I got in trouble for something. And we had been working on making these little dioramas, and I had done 3/4 of the work for this thing. I was told to leave the project at the end because my teacher was so upset with me. But okay, so I was chilling. I had to sit in the corner or something while the rest of my group worked on it. And so I went into the library after that while all these things were being displayed. And my name wasn't even on that. The project that I did so much of the work on, it wasn't even there. Like, she didn't even acknowledge that I had done a ton of the work on that project. And I am still kind of upset about it, because I was 8 years old. That's kind of not a great way to treat an 8-year-old lady. But okay, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad. But okay, it looks like the video is starting to wrap up. I'm just working on some landscaping and stuff at this point. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this voice over here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and comment and subscribe. And I post new videos every single day, so if you'll check in tomorrow, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye!